Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we just got done with our book of the month, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay, Dale Carnegie, the master of presentations. He says, in order to deliver a great presentation, you must first tell people what you're going to tell them. Okay, then you spend a little time telling them, and then we recap at the very end, telling them what we told them. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for you, and it is the skill that you are also going to use for your clients and helping them get clear, even some of these first-time home buyers. So today's goals, up on the screen, I've got today's goals for you. My goals for you are to talk through some of these NAR settlement changes. What is changing in our industry? What can you expect? And what in the world do you do? Has anybody gotten one of these doom and gloom talks from your broker yet about the NAR settlements and how scary it is? Yes, if you haven't, turn on the news. You can get a doom and gloom anytime you want. We're not going to do that for you here. We're going to actually tell you what to do and help you out, okay? So we're going to talk NAR settlements and changes. I'm going to help you understand why buyers' presentations are so valuable, okay? This is something that not every real estate agent does, but these are super duper valuable, and I want you to understand why. Okay, you're going to learn a full system. Okay, this is a full system for buyers that will save you hours per client. Okay, the average buyer takes about 20 hours to work from the time you meet them to the time they finally get under contract and close on that house. Okay, we're going to shrink that process all the way down to about 5 hours total from the time you meet to the time you go look at houses to the time you actually close on the deal. 5 hours, making buyers tremendously more valuable and efficient for your business. Okay, I'm going to teach you that entire system. You're going to learn a strategy for presenting to buyers to help make sure that not only are they more clear, but they are more confident. They are making these decisions with you in the room and without you in the room with a tremendous level of certainty that they can't get other places. Okay, I'm going to teach you some low pressure language that works in 2024. You better be really, really good at having these conversations. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the one thing that is never going to change, no matter how much AI comes out, no matter how many different technologies come out, presenting information, your ability to deliver this information in a way that your clients can understand it is imperative skill for you to have, and I'm going to make sure you got some of that language before you leave today. Okay? You are going to understand what buyers really value and what value is. Okay? Because in the world of technology and information, they can get information anywhere. All of you guys have a smart computer or a supercomputer in your back pocket or probably sitting on the table. I see a couple of you guys got that thing sitting on the table. Your clients can get information anywhere. So what is it that they value nowadays? Is it actual information or is it something else? Okay, we'll talk about that at length. And we're going to talk about your job as a buyer's agent. Okay, in 2024, your job is not that information, but it is simply the ability to provide your clients with a tremendous level of certainty. Certainty that this is a good decision, certainty that I don't have to second guess this decision, and certainty that after I make all of these choices right beside you, I'm not going to regret it 2 weeks from now when the water heater goes out. All right? So your job and your ability to provide certainty to your clients is going to be your ultimate skill, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that today. Okay? So these are my goals for you as we go through this presentation. These are all the things that I'm hoping that we get to, and I promise you that we will. All right? And last but not least, I asked all you guys to start the day by doing this and just write down something that you're hoping to take away. You might learn lots of things that you weren't even expecting to hear today. Okay? And my goal is that from everything that we talk about, you take away something, at least one thing that will serve you in your career. Because we're going to go through a lot, and I don't expect you to take everything and implement it. I don't expect you to take everything and use it. But if you find one thing today, this was worth your time, and I have served you at a high, high level. Okay? So these are my goals for you today. So let's just jump right in. The 5-hour buyer, you've got this on page 1 in your packet. This just outlines what the heck is it? How in the world do you get buyers through this entire process in 5 hours or less? All the steps are written right there, and I'm going to explain them all to you just right here really quickly. Okay? The very first thing that you must begin doing is holding these buyers' appointments. Okay? You can call them consultations if you'd like. If you like to drink with your pinky out, you call that a consultation. Yeah, there he is right there. That's the one. Okay, so this is a 1-hour presentation. You can do this in person in your office, or you can do it virtually via Zoom. As Jack mentioned earlier, this entire process was created during COVID, during quarantine, when you couldn't meet in the office with people, where it was a little bit taboo and you weren't sure if you could even ask your clients if they wanted to come into the office. Okay, so this is even made so that even if your clients are busy, even if they're abroad, even if they don't want to drive all the way out to West Omaha or all the way to Bellevue to your office, you can have these presentations with anybody, anywhere in the world at any time. Okay, so this is a 1-hour presentation, and we're going to go through 5 steps. There's 5 steps to the buyer's appointment in person. The first step is the intro and discovery. This is where we get really, really clear on why your clients are moving. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't leave with anything else, I need you to leave with this point. People do not move because of interest rates. They do not move because of the market. They do not move because of any other headline that you see on the news. People move because things are happening in their life. A life circumstance. Someone was born, someone died, they got a new job, they got fired from a job, they've got family members who need to move in, they had a whole bunch of family members that moved out. Something is happening in their life that's making them move. It is too big of a decision for people to, people will find a reason not to do this if they don't have a life circumstance that is causing them to move, okay? The first part of your buyer's presentation is for you to get very, very clear on what is that reason. Why are we even doing this? Because if what we're doing doesn't actually accomplish those goals in your life, people will find any reason. The garage was too small. There was a curb in front. There's an apartment 3 blocks away from it. Any reason not to do this, they will find it if they don't have a life circumstance. You get really, really clear on that. This game becomes easy for you, okay? So the first part is the intro and discovery. The second part is the process presentation. You've got to prepare your clients for exactly what's going to happen during their transaction, okay? This is the ultimate skill that you've got as a presenter, as a professional real estate agent, is the ability to foreshadow what's going to happen. Everybody say foreshadow. Foreshadow. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you about one of my absolute favorite movie scenes in the entire world, okay? Has anybody ever seen The Dark Knight? Batman movie, old school Batman movie, yeah, Christian Bale, okay? This is one of my absolute favorite movies. And in this movie, there's a scene where the Joker's the bad guy in the movie, and he's sitting next to a lawyer in the hospital. The lawyer just had a horrific accident and just had half his body burned. The Joker's sitting next to this guy in the hospital, and he says, listen, if I tell everybody tomorrow that I'm going to blow up a hospital, nobody panics because it's a part of the plan. But if one little cop dies that nobody's expecting, well, everybody just loses their minds. Does anybody remember this scene? Does everybody know what I'm talking about? Yes. What the Joker is saying is a phenomenal life lesson. It's something you got to remember is that your clients don't necessarily care what the plan is. They don't necessarily care that they have to pay closing costs or that they'll have to negotiate repairs. What they care about is that there is a plan and that whatever happens, even if it's a little crazy, even if it's a little wonky, even if it doesn't sound that great, as long as things go according to plan, nobody panics. Okay, that's why this is your ultimate skill in the process presentation. You've got to prepare your clients so that they know what's going to happen. All right? You get really, really good at this, and your transactions go smoother. Your clients are more confident making decisions, and that certainty that we talked about you can provide your clients with gets really, really easy for you to provide at a high, high level. Okay? So process presentation, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to make sure you guys get really good at that today. Your wants and needs analysis. This is where we finally get to talk about what do we want in that house? What are the bedrooms? What are the bathrooms? Where do we want it? What's the neighborhood? What's the school district? All of those things. We're going to get really, really clear on that. Okay? Then we're going to do some showings. Okay? Some virtual showings. This is an important part, and this is a part that most real estate agents skip. Or most real estate agents haven't been taught is important because you do these virtual showings, and now when clients go out, they know what houses in their price range cost. They know what kind of offers are winning these houses, and they know that other people are going $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over asking price, and they're no longer afraid of that. They now know exactly what to expect every time they walk in a house and they see granite countertops, or every time they walk into a house and they see that it backs to trees and there's no rear neighbors, okay? So you're going to do some virtual showings, and this will provide a tremendous level, again, of that certainty that they just can't get anywhere else. Okay, and then last but not least, you're going to get a chance to pull back the curtain and do a sold presentation so their expectations are crystal clear on what they can get and what they may want to change before we actually go out and start doing showings. This is the key, ladies and gentlemen. These steps are the key to you going out and showing 1 to 5 houses and your clients consistently putting in winning offers again and again and again, okay? We end our presentation with a 1-question close. Again, this is that low-pressure language that'll make it really, really easy for your clients to come to the conclusions that they're ready to do something with you. And again, you show 1 to 5 homes. This is where 3 hours is the bulk of your work right here. 3 hours showing 1 to 5 homes. Out of curiosity, has anybody ever worked with a buyer client, or has anybody ever been a buyer client, and you guys looked at more than 5 houses? Anybody showed a client more than 5 houses? Keep your hands nice and high really quick so we can see it. Yes, beautiful. Okay. How about anybody more than 10? Anybody had a client more than 10 houses? Holy cow, that's almost half the room. Okay, this is good. How about more than 15? Anybody like getting tired of burning gas? And yeah, okay, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we're 2 weeks in and we won't wonder why they haven't made a decision and we can't get a house. Oh my, anybody have a license in 2020? Anybody part of that madness? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're gonna help you consistently. Over almost 70% of our clients consistently win an offer and put in a winning offer within 1 to 5 homes. So the days of showing 15 houses to every client are gone. Okay, the days of posting on social media and saying, I showed 20 houses to my buyer today are gone. Okay, that is actually not the flex that you think it is. We're gonna help you with that today, I promise you. Okay, then you're gonna spend that last hour negotiating, signing agreements, and if you're on a great team, especially like Meraki, you've got some support behind you. So once you've got all those agreements handed in, you turn it over to your transaction coordinator, you wipe your hands, you're done, and you spend the rest of your time finding new buyer clients who really, really, really need your help. Okay, because if you provide people with the level of certainty that I'm talking about, this 5 hours becomes consistent and it becomes a no problem transaction for you. Okay, so you hand it to your transaction coordinator, you go do this 2 times or more every single month. And my question to you is, how cool would it be if it only took you 5 hours for every single buyer? How many buyers could you do in a month? How many buyers could you do in a year? Okay, because what happens for most of us, if it's a 20-hour process, you can only handle 2 or 3 buyers at a time. But when it's only 5 hours, total beginning to end, could you handle 10? Could you handle 20? What would your business like if you had? What would your business look like if you could handle 20 buyers at a time, all the time? Just let your mind go to that place for just a second. Yes, oh, look at that. Got a bag and fix my teeth. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, absolutely. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, why does this work so well? Why does this process work so well? And it's exactly what I told you. It's because of your ability to foreshadow, to prepare them for what they're going to see so that every time it comes up, they feel like experts. They know exactly what's coming, okay? And the reason we do this process in this specific way, the way that I'm about to teach you, is because when the process is done correctly, your clients come to the conclusions on their own. Instead of you trying to convince them that this house is worth $200,000 and you should pay $200,000 even though it's only listed at $180,000, they come to conclusions on their own and they begin to sell you on why they should offer a certain price, on what they should do to make it a winning offer, on increasing the earnest deposit or increasing the deposit or waiving inspections or whatever might help them win the offer. They start convincing you. That's why this process works so well. They come to these conclusions on their own because we give them all the information before we're standing in the driveway of the home that they're hoping to get. All right? So, right now, we should be on page 2, if you guys are on page 2. At the bottom of page 2, also at the bottom of page 1, you have a link and you have a QR code. Whichever you prefer, whichever is easier for you to use, we have all of the tools and things that we're giving to you, this slideshow, these packets, all the buyer's information that you need. If you want to use exactly what we have and you want to just take it and change the logos out and use it for yourself, you absolutely can. It is available to you and that's free to you. You use that link or you use that QR code and you can use any of this stuff at any time you want, okay? You can even tell people you're on Meraki if you want. No, please don't do that. That'd be weird, okay? Don't do that. But you have access to all this stuff that I'm about to show you, and this is the actual buyer presentation that our agents use for their clients today, every day. All right? So this is the presentation. Welcome to your home consultation. And what this presentation does is it prompts you every step of the way exactly what you're going to be going through with your clients. Okay? So we're going to start off this presentation by taking your clients through exactly what I went through with you, which is I'm going to tell you what this presentation is going to be. Today's itinerary is for me to understand your goals, for you to learn the process, and for us to begin the home buying adventure right now, today in the room, okay? So now you're gonna be telling them what you're about to do during this presentation. Then we're gonna spend a little time telling them, and we're hitting the process presentation. But first, let's discover your goals. What's your main motivation? How soon do you want this to happen? And overall, what do we want to accomplish? Do we want to get into a school district? Do we need to get out of that lease before May 2nd? Do we need to get into a place where we've got 6 bedrooms available because we got a whole bunch of people moving into our house, okay? Then you get this roadmap. This roadmap is the simple visual that we give to our clients that walks them through the process, okay? This is the first thing that you guys are about to practice right now, okay? So I had you guys do this little jumbling around and everybody's got a role play partner. So right now you're gonna get a chance to role play. What we're gonna practice this roadmap script, and what this is you walking your clients through the process of buying a home. And here's the trick. You're gonna practice this with your partner for the next 5 minutes because I want you to be able to explain the entire process, start to finish, of buying a home in 60 seconds or less. When you get really, really good at this, you'll be able to do this in 30 seconds or less, okay? But I want you to do this in 60 seconds or less. You're gonna practice this with your partner because when you can explain the entire process, start to finish, in 30 seconds or less, your clients think this process is really, really easy. This is no longer scary. This is no longer complicated. This is something that I know how to do. I can do it in my sleep, and I could explain it to my 5-year-old if I had to. If you can do this in 30 seconds, your clients will feel that confident about the entire process. So this simple roadmap is your visual, and now this is your turn to practice, okay? So on page 3, I believe it's page 3, you've got the roadmap script. So what I want you to do is I want you to go back and forth with your partner, and I want you to go, and then I want your partner to go, and I want you to see if you can, just using the roadmap script exactly as the words read, can you read through that entire script and get through it in 60 seconds or less? Okay, you're gonna go, and then your partner's gonna go, and then you're gonna go, and then your partner's gonna go. And what you're gonna notice is by the time you get to the 3rd or 4th try through this, you're gonna be really, really good at it. You're gonna start to know this process, and you're gonna feel confident explaining to it. Okay, I'm gonna put the visual back on the board. At this point in your presentation, your buyer's presentation, you've gotten very clear on why they're trying to move, what it is that we're trying to accomplish. You've begun to explain the process to them, and you're giving them a chance to ask any questions. So right now I want to give all of you guys a chance. Does anybody have any questions so far on the buyer presentation? What it looks like, what it feels like, what are we doing here? Questions, preguntas para nosotros. This is good, okay. All right, I must be doing a really good job. That's clearly what's going on. That's why there's no questions, okay? I will take it, and I will take it very humbly. All right, so right after we explain this process, you've explained it now, you can do it in 60 seconds or less, and it feels very, very easy to explain. Out of curiosity, does anybody currently do this? Does anybody explain the 3 times that you need money in a transaction in order to, or before you have to buy a house? Does anybody explain that? Okay, good. This is something you might want to put in your back pocket. It's a really, really good thing to prepare your clients so that they know, when is the money coming out? When do I have to expect to have these checks and stuff ready? That's a lot of money, Jack. You're asking me for a lot of money during this transaction. When do I need to bring it? So something you might want to put in your back pocket. Okay, immediately after doing this, they get a chance to ask some questions. And now we're going to go in depth through the rest of this presentation on every one of these categories so that they know what to expect throughout this whole thing. All right? So again, these slides are available to you. You will have these so that you can walk your clients through these slides. Additionally to this, there's a printout you'll see. It's called Home Buying Made Simple. It's a little printout packet that you can just give to your clients so they can go home, and if they're the kind of clients who want to read on their own and get really in-depth on all the details, they can take this little packet home, they can read it themselves, share it with their husbands, share it with their wives, share it with their friends, whatever they want to do, because the more they share it, the better you look as a real estate professional. Hey, what a great life this is. All right? So you're going to walk your clients through the nuance of every one of these, and again, every bullet that is in this slideshow is intended to help you communicate to your clients all things that are important, okay? Understanding that closing costs and down payment are 2 totally separate things, and that your clients will be prepared to do that, okay? Just so you know, this is available on that link at the bottom of page 2 or the QR code at the bottom of page 1. Either one of those will get you to this, to have access to this, okay? Financing, showings, we're going to explain how showings work, okay? We're going to look at the ones that you like. We're not going to look at the ones that you don't like. We're only going to look at 3 every time we go out. You're going to explain to them what happens every time they make an offer, that sellers can accept it, counter it, or they can tell them, heck no. Get out of here, okay? You want to prepare your clients for this because this is something that can really damage their morale as they're going through these things, okay? Offers and negotiations, you'll help them understand exactly what that process looks like. And look at this. This is maybe the most important slide that we give to our clients because they get to understand all of the strategies that they could use if they find themselves in a multiple offer situation. Imagine this. You're standing in front of the driveway of the house that your clients love, love, love. And there are 10 other people in the house already. There are 10 people in the house and 3 more couples pulling up right behind you, and everybody's looking at the house, and we know everybody's going to make an offer on this house. Imagine your clients say, we want to make an offer on this house, and they start rattling this list off to you. You know what? Maybe we should increase the offer price. Maybe we should do a non-refundable earnest deposit. This is how your clients get that level of certainty in the process long before they're standing in the driveway, so that when it's time to make these offers, your clients are shouting this list to you, not just you trying to talk them into doing stuff, all right? So that's why we do this ahead of time. One of the most important things that you got to prepare your clients for before we ever get there, okay? Inspections, you're going to walk your clients through this so they know what to expect, so that when they get that 20-page packet from the inspector, they don't panic and say, the house is falling over, okay? You know that stuff is coming, so you want to prepare them for all of that, and you want to prepare them for the 3 inspection responses that they might get. You can accept the house, you can ask the seller to fix stuff, or you can get your money back, you can walk away, and we can find something else that your family's comfortable with. Okay, you want to prepare your clients for that long before we get to inspections, because they feel pressure every time they have to make a decision unless they've heard it all before. Okay, this is, again, you providing a tremendous level of certainty to your clients before we ever get into these problems. Okay, and then last but not least, closing day. This is the day we all come together, we sign papers, we take a picture, we smile real big, and then you get to go around town telling everybody how great I am. Isn't this wonderful? Okay? Great, your lenders will love you for this. I saw Josh. Won't your lenders love you for this if you remind them all the do's and don'ts? Yes, please get your lender the documents that they need, because if you don't do this, you're not closing on time. Please don't go finance that car. Don't go finance furniture. Nebraska Furniture Mart has ruined more closings than any real estate agent ever. I promise you. That dang no interest financing. Okay, anyway, so you remind your clients not to do this stuff, and now they know that you're a professional. They know that you know the process really well, and they know the process better than they've ever known it in their lives. In better detail, with better confidence, they could go explain this to somebody in the simplest of terms, and they feel confident in the information that they're giving. Now, when they go make all these decisions, it's not scary. It's not a place where they feel like they're under pressure. They know what to expect, they know what to do, and they know exactly how to get what they want. And they can tell you every step of the way, okay? This is one of the things that makes your transactions much, much easier as you go through it, okay? So this is the process presentation. This whole thing, beginning to end, process and needs and wants, should take you about 15 to 20 minutes. You explain the entire process, you get clear on all this in 15, 20 minutes. Everybody's ready to do this, and now we get to the fun part, the part we all came for. Let's go look at some houses. Let's start your search. Okay, this is why your clients are here. Has anybody ever had that client? Let's go look at houses. I don't really need a presentation. I just want to go look at some houses. Yeah. Oh, yes, I know. It's killing us. This is going to make it so much easier for you. You're like, you know what? I'm going to give you the best showings you've ever had right here. All right? So this next piece, this is your MLS presentation. This is where your needs and wants analysis comes together, and you get to ask your clients what they want in this house. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, what neighborhood, what style, ranch, 2-story, split entry, cookie cutter, 1950s home, whatever, you name it. You guys get really, really clear on all this stuff, okay? An MLS presentation works like this. It comes in 2 parts. First is the solds, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to ask them for their criteria. What do you want? The area, the style, the hopes, the dreams, all that stuff. And the sold search is used to provide certainty around their ideal home, okay? So what's going to happen, you're going to put in their entire criteria, and then you're going to switch the search from actives to solds. Why are we doing this? Because now you're actually going to see what actually worked for people. What are the actual sale prices of homes? What do they actually look like? And then when you start pulling up these homes and you click through a couple of photos, what you find is the homes that actually sold for $300,000 actually look like what's on the screen here. They actually have these kind of cabinets. They actually have this color trim. They actually have these kinds of bathrooms and kitchens and countertops. And you can show your clients, hey, these are what actually sold for the price that you're telling me you want. If you got a house like this, how would you feel? If your clients are happy, great, we know we're in the right price range. If your clients say, hell no, we know we need to go back and fix this criteria. And instead of you doing this over the course of 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 showings, you get to do this in 6 minutes right here in front of them, okay? So they get to see exactly what houses that's actually selling their price range look like, so that now, when you walk out and you say, okay, when you see white trim and granite countertops, how much do you think this house is actually going to sell for? It's already on the screen in front of you. That's why we do solds first. They get very, very clear on what their price range actually buys in today's market, okay? Because if they bought a house 2 years ago, is it possible that the price range has changed since then? Yes. It's almost a guarantee. 2 years ago, that is an eternity in our world, right? Okay, so once we've gotten solds, we got very clear, we've found a couple of houses that they like, and we know your house is in this price range. The kind of house that you and your family would like is in this price range. All right, let's just flip this over to actives, and now let's look at what is actually on the market in your criteria. What tends to happen is you go through this sold search and you find 15, 20, 30 houses that already sold in their price range and recently in the last 6 months or 30 days or however long. Okay, and then you flip to actives, and what tends to happen? Anybody search for houses on the market lately? Zero. Yeah, there's almost nothing on the market. Okay, that 30 houses quickly turns into 2 or 0 or 3. And now this active search is used to create flexibility in their search. Okay, so for your first-time home buyers, this is where we went through the solds to find out, yes, I'd be happy with this. No, I wouldn't be happy with this. Yes, when I see these features, I will expect this price no matter where it's listed at. Then you're going to go to actives and you're going to say, okay, if you got a house that was 2 bedrooms instead of 3, how would you feel? If you got a house that was 2 garages instead of 3, if you got, I know you said Elkhorn, but would you be okay if it was Elkhorn and Gretna? What if it was on the west side of town, but it said Omaha also? I know you said Bellevue, but are you open to Papillion? Okay, this is where you get to open up their search. So the sold search is all about certainty. They are now certain about what their price range is and what they can afford and what it will look like. Okay, active search is about flexibility. What is really important? What is a deal breaker? What is not? What are we willing to let go of to give ourselves more options? And instead of doing this over the course of the next 10 showings, okay, for those of you guys who raised your hand for the 15, I just eliminated 12 of your showings right now. I just did it right there. Boom, boom, active sold. Done. Now we're down to the last 3, and look at that. Your 15 is still active. Okay, your 15 is still the correct number, and we are still getting your houses sold in 15 showings or less. All right? So this is the second opportunity for you guys to practice this skill. You have a second script in your book here, and this is your MLS presentation. I believe this is page 4. Double check for me. Is this page 4? Yes, page 4. Love it. Okay, page 4. What I want you to do, I'm going to give you guys about 4 minutes, and I want you to go through just one time each. Just one time each, just hearing how it sounds, hearing how it is to be in this conversation. What is it like to go through a sold and active search with your clients, okay? Obviously, you're not going to have the MLS in front of you, so I just want you to pretend we're just going to role play this one time all the way through to see what it feels like to let your clients in on the certainty and the flexibility of doing it this way, all right? So 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes with your partner. Let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point in your presentation, you and your clients are very clear on why we're doing this. You and your clients are very, very clear on exactly what the process looks like. You and your clients are very, very clear on what is out there for them, okay? I promise you, Dale Carnegie says the 3 things you must do to have a good presentation. You must tell them what you're going to tell them. Then you got to tell them, and then you recap it by telling them exactly what we went over, okay? So in order to recap all of this, we give you the 1 question close at the bottom of your script right there. Makes it very, very easy for you and your clients to find out if we are on the same page, okay? One of the things that we love on our team about scripts is scripts make these conversations very, very predictable, don't they? Because we ask certain questions, and there's only a couple of responses you're going to get to this question. Somebody, anybody, a brave soul, read that 1 question close out loud. Somebody, anybody. Love it. If you found the perfect house tomorrow, would you be ready to make an offer? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand how powerful that question is by saying it in that exact same way. Okay, please underline the word if. Please underline the word if on your script. Okay, the word if is what takes this entire conversation and makes it hypothetical. So no longer is there pressure. No longer is there a commitment. No longer is there a need for your clients to be in a contract with you. There's no pressure, and when your clients feel no pressure, they'll actually tell you the truth. That's why we're going to use a hypothetical and say if. So if you found the perfect house tomorrow, the perfect bedrooms, the perfect bathrooms, the perfect space, if everything was perfect, would you, somebody, what are the next 2 words? Would you be ready? Please underline the words be ready. Okay, this is what makes this question so unbelievably reasonable that your clients will actually tell you the truth. Because it is not, will you promise me? Will you make a commitment to me? Will you guarantee, or else I'm not spending 1 more second with you? This is, would you be ready to make an offer? If everything was perfect. Because we love this script because your clients are only going to give you one of two answers or one or two answers to this question. What's the first answer to this question? Yes, I would be ready. In which case, great, let's rock and roll. I'll set up some showings right now. Let's do it. Okay? What about the other answer to this question, which is? No, I'm not ready. Which a very natural and easy next question for you is, why? What would make you ready? What specifically would you need to know in order to be ready to buy a house? Even if we don't do this for another 6 months, even if we don't do it for another 2 years. Now your clients, when they get to the end of this conversation and they finally say, yes, I'd be ready, they have said it with their own words and they have convinced themselves that they would make an offer even if they only went to one more showing or two more showings. This is an imperative step in you being able to actually get somebody to write an offer, because if you go out and you see the perfect house, it checks all the boxes, it's in their price range, and there's no other offers. You might even get closing costs covered. They'll say, well, you know what? I don't think I've seen enough houses. Maybe we should just keep looking for a little while. Okay? This step, you can't skip this one question closed, because it is how they've convinced themselves that they're ready, so that when they actually find themselves in this scenario, it is a no-brainer for them, and they confidently will make this offer, and they will win over and over again. All right? So take some of these steps, put them in your tool bag, and ladies and gentlemen, you become a master of the buyer presentation. Okay? So really, really quick, the results of the 5-hour buyer process, why this thing works. Okay, buyers put in winning offers within 5 showings on our team 68% of the time. Okay, they are putting in winning offers within 5 showings. That is saving you a tremendous amount of time as a real estate agent. Buyers admit to being more confident throughout the process. Okay, when they're more confident throughout the process, they remember who helped them become so much more confident, which actually leads to more referrals and better reviews for you down the road. Okay, buyers' timelines shrink. What happens is people tell you, we're not moving till next year. Then you go through this little process and they're like, well, can we start tomorrow? Okay, because it sounds so easy and it's so available to them, you've made this information very tangible. Their timelines shrink and they're ready to go immediately. Clients change their criteria to what they're okay with within minutes. I promise you, you can do this in 6 minutes instead of 3 weeks where we go see 12 houses and we have to wait for people to put their houses on the market and we have to lose a bunch of offers and you have to burn a couple. You don't have to do any of that anymore. You just follow this process. It will help you, okay? You can easily help multiple buyers at a time. If you're only going to see houses that you guys are really, really serious about, you can have 5, 10, 15 buyers all ready to do something, and you can really service them at a high level because they're very clear on what they want. And it's very, very easy. And in this process, you can even set it up so that if you needed help showing or you had showing assistance, you can have other people showing the houses for you, and your clients aren't worried because they know it's part of the process. They were prepared for that part, okay? Offers are consistently competitive for the market. Again, they know what's actually winning, so they don't have to go in there and listen to their stepdad when their stepdad follows them on the showing and says, you guys should offer $10,000 less. Charlotte's like, yeah, I had one of those last week, didn't you? See, I know. I've heard it. I've been there. I've been in your shoes. I feel you. Okay. And again, ladies and gentlemen, more reviews and referrals around professionalism. Okay. So not only is this thing going to save you time, it is going to save your clients time. It is going to make you more money. It will save them money so they don't have to guess as to where these prices are going to land when they're in multiple offer situations. They already know. They saw the last houses that just did it 30 days ago, and they know exactly what these prices are going to land at. It'll save them money. It'll save you time all the way around. And I'm just going to flat out tell you, you better be getting good at this skill, okay? You better be getting really good at this skill. Has anybody seen these headlines? Yeah, just show of hands. Anybody seen these headlines around NAR settlement? Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you down a rabbit hole. Okay, where's my conspiracy theorist at? Okay, conspiracy theorist in the room? Yeah, there he is. I know. Okay, not that rabbit hole. We're gonna go to a totally different place here. Okay, this is a helpful place. I'm gonna give you guys some information on this. We're just gonna talk about it. A guy I like to listen to these days, a guy by the name of John Deloney, he says, when you're faced with some uncertainty, facts are your friends. Okay, so right now let's just go through the facts. What are some of the facts around this NAR settlement? There's really only 3 facts that you really, really, really need to know. Okay, and they're as follows. Firstly, as a result of this settlement, buyer agency will become a requirement. Okay, out of curiosity, anybody in the room had a real estate license longer than 12 months? Longer than 12 months? Yes. Are buyer agencies optional or required in the state of Nebraska? Yeah, they are required. Yeah, this is already a thing for us. Okay, so this is a nationwide thing. Florida, they're not. Check this out. Yes. Yes, it's changing in Florida, but for those of you guys, Nebraskans, this is old news. Okay, so buyer agency signatures will be required. Colorado's the same way, by the way, where they did not require buyer agency, but now it will be a nationwide thing that it will be required. For us, this is old news, so for us, no worries, guys. If you're doing buyer agency already, really, really easy, and you just do this at the end of your presentation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on that link that we gave you on the QR code, there is a full buyer script, a full breakdown of all the words that you will say when you're in front of your clients, and at the very, very end is this. Get your buyer agency signed, and it makes it really, really easy. You've delivered so much value at this point, these people wouldn't imagine going anywhere else to work with a real estate professional, okay? So your buyer agency signatures will be required. This is one of the facts, okay? Second fact is that the MLS will not advertise cooperating agent compensation. That means right now you can look in the MLS and you can see what you'll get paid as a buyer's agent. Come mid-July, you will no longer see that. It will not be in the MLS, okay? Does this say that sellers will no longer pay commissions? No, it does not. This just says that the MLS says, hey, we're out of it. You guys got it. Good luck. You take care of it. You guys talk about it amongst yourselves and leave us out. That's all they're saying, okay? So MLS will not advertise it. You will not know before you show the house what you're getting, okay? And then last but not least, brokerages under $2 billion in volume, billion with a B, are protected from copycat lawsuits. That means other sellers who decide that they want to engage in the same thing and hopefully get a $1,000 check while their lawyer runs off with the millions. That's what happened, by the way, for those of you guys if you don't know. Those copycat lawsuits you are protected. This class action says as long as you are under $2 billion in volume, which means some of the big brokerages are a little bit more concerned than the Team-Ridge model. So just so you know, these are the facts. These are the top 3 facts that you need to know. Okay, if you're in these worlds, this is where you're going to be. Okay? More importantly, I promise you this is not about doom and gloom because a lot of times you're going to hear this, that the industry's changing and we don't know what we're going to do and we're just going to wait it out and see what happens. And let me tell you, I'm just going to give you a flat-out action plan. These are the things that you better do. And as long as you do these things, you don't have to worry about these suits. You don't have to worry about the decisions that come out of this. You don't have to worry about any new legislation. You are set. You are good to go. You are ready for whatever happens as long as you do these things that are on the screen, okay? I got you right here. And I promise you, they're tactical. We're not even going to go high in the sky. We're going to go really, really nitty-gritty. First, you must be doing buyer's presentations, okay? This is first and foremost presentations or consultation meetings, however you want to explain it. You better be doing these, okay? Because you're going to need to get buyer agency signed. And the second point is there are 2 documents that you're going to have to get signed during these meetings. The first is a buyer agency. This is one we're very familiar with. It just explains, I'm your agent and I must do these things for you. Okay, we've all seen these things. You've seen several of these. Okay, the second is a form that is going to ask your buyers for permission to request compensation from the seller. Okay, this is where when I tell you our mission as Meraki is to redefine the real estate standards, what I'm about to ask from you requires your standards of ethics to raise. Your standard of ethics have to go through the roof because in order for you to ask for compensation, could it affect this house that your buyers are about to get? Yes, it could, okay? Your ethics have to go through the roof because you are going to ask your client for permission to request compensation, and even if you might lose a little bit of compensation, you must not let your compensation get in the way of your clients getting a home. This is why your ethics have to go through the roof, and it's got to be relationships over transactions. Even if you make a little bit less money on this transaction, you've got to make sure that your needs do not get in the way of your clients getting houses, or else this industry is done forever, all right? So you're going to get both these forms signed. Your brokerage may have these forms already, and if they don't, you might want to tell your leadership to go call their lawyer and start drafting these doggone things because you're going to need them, okay? Permission to request compensation from a seller. How do we know this works? Out of curiosity, how do we know that we need these? Anybody know how we know we need these? Yeah, for sale by owners. Okay, Jack told you a little bit about my story. Was I cut my teeth prospecting. Okay, I'm not from Omaha. I didn't have a big network of friends and family who were going to use me as a real estate agent. So I had to go out and find strangers who would let me, a young 25-year-old kid, sell their house for them. Okay, I worked with for sale by owners because that was the niche that I learned, and these people taught me so much about this exact thing because in the world for sale by owners, there is no MLS. Every time you do a contract with a for sale by owner, you've got to get an agreement around compensation, and you've got to have these conversations. And in these conversations, you'll find out that even people who say that I would never pay a commission happily pay 3, 4, 5, and 8% for your services as long as you solve their problem. As long as you help them solve their life circumstance that they're actually trying to get. Okay, because that person who's trying to move to Arizona because they got a job that starts in 2 weeks, they don't necessarily care about the money anymore, do they? They need to get to Arizona regardless of what they get for this house, and they need to move. Okay, life circumstances is where all the magic happens here. So you're going to have these 2 forms, and again, I can say this with so much certainty because I've actually done it. I've been in kitchens with these people when we're presenting these offers. Okay, and some leaders, I'll just flat out tell you, in our city have not. They can't tell you this with certainty because they haven't been there, okay? You take this to them, they're going to have to do a little research on this, but I promise you this is what you're going to need, okay? And then last but not least, you're going to need a compensation agreement with every contract that you turn in. Okay, when we get to mid-July, they take this out of the MLS, every contract you turn in. So this means, let me give you a couple of hot takes. These are a couple of hot takes. These are, here's my disclaimer. I can't promise you these things are going to happen, but I'm pretty sure you'll see some of this stuff happen, okay? Or so we think, okay? So settlement outcomes, these are things that we think will happen. One thing that I think will happen is that closings will happen every day, regardless of what happens in the market, and prices are not going down because there's still not that many houses for sale, okay? Closings are happening every day. Why are closings happening every day? Because people are not moving because of the market. They're not moving because of your compensation, and prices aren't going down because the sellers aren't going to instantly lower their price because their neighbors just sold for that much. I'm not going to lower it just because I don't have to pay Jay a commission. You kidding me? Jay? I don't even know that guy. Okay? Closings are going to happen every single day, and they always will. The agents who continue to keep a positive mindset will get their fair share of these. Okay? Second, negotiating every single commission. Okay? To be clear, what that means is some deals, you will make more than 2.4%. If you walk into this house that's been on the market for 65 days and you say, here's our offer, oh, and also here's my commission, I'd like 4%, please. Your seller will have to negotiate with you on this conversation. You might make more than 2.4%, when in the past it was already set in stone and you were done, you were getting what you were going to get and you weren't going to throw a fit. But now you're going to get an opportunity to negotiate every single time. So sometimes you're going to make way more than 2.4%. Sometimes you might make a little bit less. Both of those situations are okay. The agents who really have some skills in this, you're going to come out ahead, I promise you. Okay? Just to prepare you right now, it's going to happen. So if you get upset about this later, don't say I didn't tell you because it's coming. Okay? Your competition will discount their buyer's commission in order to win multiple offers. Okay? That's coming. I just want you to know it's going to happen. Just prepare for it. Okay? Your competition will discount to win multiple offers. It will be out there, and there will still be lots of agents who don't do that. Okay? You have your choice of which one of those agents you would like to be, and the whole point of this lawsuit is so that I don't be the one to tell you. You've got to be the one to decide what makes sense for your business, okay? So your compensation will be discounting their commissions. At some point, somebody's going to do it. I'm just telling you it's coming, okay? As a real estate agent, negotiation is going to become your ultimate skill, okay? You better be spending some time on this. You better be spending some time talking to your fellow real estate agents about this. You better be reading some books about this. If you need a really, really good book, one that we're working on this month, our book of the month inside of Meraki is called Never Split the Difference, one of the best negotiating books that I've read personally. Negotiating will become your ultimate skill because you'll be doing it on every single contract. And like I said, the good negotiators, you're going to be making more per deal than you ever have. Okay? It's no longer going to be just you get what you get. Okay? Certainty, not information, not being an Uber driver with access to lockboxes, okay, is going to be your ultimate value as an agent. Your ability to provide certainty to your clients. They can look up the houses on Zillow. They can look up the houses anywhere they want, and they usually do. Okay? How many people you send an MLS link and they send you a Zillow link back? Yeah, it happens all the time, right? You're like, why don't you just use my website? Yes, guys, Zillow is spending way more money than you trying to get their mind share, and they are winning, okay? You might not win that game, but the game that you can win is the certainty part. Okay? Zillow can provide the information, but you can't DoorDash certainty. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say that one more time. You can get the information in a second, but where can you go right now if you want some certainty? Where can you go? Okay, your clients will come to you for that. That's the only place they can get it, all right? So certainty is going to be your ultimate value as an agent, okay? I think you're on page 5. There's a little equation up there that tells you what is value, what do people actually value when it comes to real estate transactions. This is what we're talking about. What do they value? They value their dream outcome. They value that home. They value those goals. They value that new place for their family. Okay? They value the likelihood that they could actually get it. Imagine you walk them through this presentation, you show them a bunch of souls, you show them 30 people who have already done exactly what they want to do. Okay? That is a likelihood that they could do the same thing. That's tremendously valuable. You cut down the amount of time. Now they can do it in 1 to 5 showings. And you cut down the likelihood or the effort and sacrifice that they have to go through in order to get this stuff. You have made a tremendously valuable proposition to them just by taking them through this buyer's presentation, okay? Certainty becomes your ultimate value proposition as an agent, all right? And last but not least, this is my hot take, and I just want to prepare you because you're going to get doom and gloom speeches from your brokers, and the reality is this is the greatest opportunity in the history of modern real estate, full stop, period, the end, thanks for playing. Okay, there is an opportunity right now. The agents who take advantage of it, the agents who keep a great mindset, the agents who understand these little things that I'm talking about, these little tools that will make you more valuable in the marketplace, these agents will win at times bigger than they could have ever imagined. There will be more deals per agent, and there will be more money per transaction for every single one of you who walks out there with a great mindset, who walks out there with these tools, and who takes advantage of this opportunity. Because a lot of these people, they're going to stop. They're going to be scared. They're going to be nervous. They're not going to know what to do. They don't even know what these forms are that they might need when they get in front of a buyer and a seller come mid-July, and that's only a couple of months away. Okay? You guys have all these tools, and you can take these tools, you can share them with your friends, you can share them with your broker, you can share them with your leadership and make sure that you have these things and that you are ready for July. Or, shameless plug, if you want to come see us and talk about it, you know, we got you. We got your back too. Okay? And then last but not least, one of the things that I really think is going to happen is there are going to be some agents who are really, really good at this, and there may be some sellers who get taken advantage of because of it. There will be some sellers who are not going to be ready, who are going to be with some agents who are not preparing them for what they're going to see. They're not going to be preparing them for this additional negotiation of negotiating the buyer's commission on top of all this stuff. And over the next couple of years, you're going to see some real legislation come out and some real regulation around these things. It's going to come back because right now, the unintended consequence of this lawsuit is that a lot of the regulation and the oversight has been lifted. It's gone. It's a little bit wild, wild west right now. Okay? So over the next couple of years, just be prepared. Be ready to embrace and drive change because legislation is coming. Regulation is coming, and there will be some controls put in place to make sure that people are not taken advantage of because ultimately our job is to make sure that people are not being taken advantage of. They have real professional representation. Okay? So just be aware of that. As changes happen, embrace them. Be on the forefront of driving that change. And right now, I've given you a couple of simple tools and simple sheets that you are going to need if you're going to be at the front of driving change. Okay? And ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions around this, in the words of my good friend, Coach Prime, I ain't hard to find. So you got my phone number right up here or my email. Let me know if you have any questions, you want to talk through any of this stuff. If there's anything in the world that we can do to help you. Again, our mission is to redefine the standards of the real estate industry. And that means even if you and I never make a dollar together, I promise you I will do anything I can to help you. All right? So ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. That is my time. I want to be respectful of your time and let you guys get out of here. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to bring my friend Jack Harvey back up.